Hi, I'm Kristin Davis, and I want to know, are you a Charlotte? We are back for the second time with Mario Cantone, which is so fantastic because this is your first episode on the air.
It is. I always thought it was episode 12, but it's not. It's episode 11.
I know, and it's called Running with Scissors, but I think the reason you might have thought it was 12 is because we shot 2 at once, as we always did, right? Yeah. Because in my mind, I remember the other Vera Wang where the girls are there. Like there's 2 Vera Wang visits, but we shot them in one day.
Oh, that's right. And I remember I came in at 3 p.m.
Wow.
And I was in an off-Broadway show at the time.
Got it.
Yeah, it was called The Crumple Zone. And ran for like 6 months. It did really well, got great reviews. And I remember that particular night was one of our tech nights.
Oh, no.
And they weren't going to let me out. And I was like, you can get someone else to stand here while you light for an evening because I'm going.
Definitely.
And I went.
For sure. So wait, if you came in at 3 p.m, maybe we did.
Don't you remember? We filmed till 4 at night.
I do remember that it was stressful and long. And I remember that our executive from HBO came and sat across from us and glared at us. I mean, not that it was our fault, but like just let it be known that we were over budget. Yeah, it was one of those days. There's only a few. Michael Hill came, and I remember that because I was like, oh, he never comes. Oh, no. But I think it was expensive to shoot in Vera Wang.
Probably was, and it was so small. Remember how small it was?
Tiny. It was hard to film there.
Yeah, and also that evening was my husband's opening night of an off-Broadway show he was in.
Wow.
It's called Bubbly Black Girl Sheds Her Chameleon Skin.
What?
And I couldn't go. Yeah, it was a whole thing that week. But I remember, we talked about this last time and you didn't remember it. I'm sure you remember it now because I told you last time, but there was a second scene.
Oh, I still only have the vaguest memory. What was it?
It was us, where we were sitting and looking at the dresses. There was a little room in the back of that with the door.
Like a dressing room.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were in that dressing room and I was fitting you and trying to cut something with the scissors and I ended up ripping the dress.
Which is really interesting because it's Running with Scissors is the title of this episode.
Yeah. And you glared at me and I was just like, oh, and that was the end of that scene. And that was the end of that.
Oh, so, wow.
I don't know if that had stayed in, if we would have come back and become friends.
I mean, I assumed that they loved you so much that they didn't want there to be a negative thing. But maybe. I also feel this episode has so much plot in it for everyone else.
It really does.
It's a lot.
The thing and the Aiden thing. And it's a lot.
It's so much that I feel, there were times, I mean, this has always been true for us. We overshoot, right? We always have too much and then we have to pick and choose. Always.
Well, look. Don't get me started on just like that. There were 2 scenes of ours, 2 this last season that were cut.
No way.
Oh yes. Remember the one in the bakery, and it was after the puppet thing.
Oh.
And I said to you, I need to talk about the puppet more. And I was like, I was this old guy glaring at him, and you were like, well, and I was like, don't look at me like that. It's a great scene, and it got cut, and there was sad. Oh, and then there was a scene at the Red Rooster between me and you before I apologized to Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
That was cut, which I was furious about because it was the bridge to me apologizing.
Right. I remember that. But we always overfilm. And one time I said to Michael Patrick, I said, couldn't we cut from the read through so that we don't, because we're always just really basically killing ourselves to get everything filmed. Yeah. And also we spend a lot of money getting everything filmed. And he said, no, because I don't know in the edit what's going to work.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know. That's how it works.
But let me just say this about you when I watched this first episode, because obviously I hadn't watched this episode in, 30 years or whatever it is, 25 years. You are just a breath of fresh air. Like your energy, you're just like a blast of energy. It's so refreshing and exciting. Like you're a note that we didn't have in the ensemble.
Yeah.
Do you feel that when you watch it?
Yeah. When I watched it, I was like, wow, it was just, it's funny. It's good. It works. And I don't know. I feel that I'm happy with it when I watch.
Definitely, right? I mean, you're so young also. Like, it's so funny to look at you and me, obviously, too. But I mean, we're little children. I don't think I felt like a little child back then. Do you know what I mean?
No, you didn't.
Right.
Neither did I. We felt like we were,
Adult. We were, but.
Well, that was 2000. We filmed that in 99 or 2000.
No, I think we filmed it in 2000 because it aired August 20th. So we would have filmed it earlier in the summer, spring,
so
summer.
I was 40 years old.
No, you look like you're 20 or 25. My God.
I just turned 66 last week.
Congratulations. Oh my God, it was your birthday.
66, one more six, and I'm the sign of the devil. That's right.
Well, this is the thing I was thinking too when I'm watching, because I remember that you used to always feel, you have like a nervousness about your work, which is always kind of adorable, that still remains really. But I remember this particular time because it was the beginning. I mean, but you're so great.
Well, this is you're sitting there and you're doing it for the crew, and the crew is like hysterically laughing. And then the cameras go on and they can't laugh. So in your psychological, crazy comedic mind, my paranoid comedic mind, I'm like, well, I'm sucking now. I'm not doing this well.
Right.
I'm not funny. I left. I would leave. I remember, I think it was season 4. Episode, I think it was 1 or 2, where we're walking and the sailors, it's Fleet Week,
Yes.
and the sailors. I remember walking away from that scene and calling Michael and going, you didn't get it, right?
What?
So would I leave you? He was like, would I let you off the set if I didn't get it?
He would not.
And then you watch it and I'm like, okay, he got it.
Definitely. I do think too, there's a couple things I thought about. One was just like your energy is so pure and great and different. And then the other thing I realized is that you didn't do that many episodes of the first series. And I was wondering for you, like, so you did 12 total. I'm reading my details. 12 total. Which is crazy. I would have thought it was so much more than that.
A lot of people think that, yeah.
Yeah. And how did they handle it? Like, what was your thinking? Did you think you were coming back? Did you know you were coming back? How did it go?
I've known Michael Patrick King since I was in my 20s doing stand-up. That's how we came together. So he wrote me this. I did go in as a formality to read. And there was also that question of whether I was going to be able to get out of that tech thing, which I was like, I'm doing this. So, but I remember after it aired, I ran into him and John Melfi in a restaurant, and he said, do you know how many, the reaction we got from you and how many, calls or letters or whatever it was back then? And I said, I don't know, but am I coming back? Mm-hmm. And he said, you absolutely are. I said, okay. But this is what it was. It was 1 episode season 3,
right? 2
episodes season 4.
Wow.
3 episodes season 5.
Crazy.
And 6 episodes season 6.
Yay.
And then both movies, which kind of, cemented it. But I was always on call, and I was always so afraid that, of scheduling, because they call you last minute. And if you, weren't available, this was not a good thing. So I was horrified,
Oh no. So you never really knew?
No, I didn't know when. I knew I was coming back, but
you didn't know when.
But it just, the episodes grew as the years went on. And I also, and there were, some Broadway shows at the time that I did turn down, not because of this, but because, no, believe me, it worked out well.
Okay.
Not because of this, but because of negotiations and whatever. Sometimes they want you for a year and you're like, can I do 6 months, which I think is reasonable. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, goodbye. So, and at that time, they did, even now, if you're a middling name and you're not a name, they don't let you out. Broadway producers don't let you out, in my experience, to go do an episode of a show. Yikes. So, that could have messed me up, totally with this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that you were thinking of us.
Oh, I was.
Because we need you.
I love it.
Yes, we need you so much.
I miss it. I miss it very much.
I miss it too.
I'm very sad about it.
I know.
Honestly. People are like, how are you? I'm like, I'm sad.
I'm sorry.
One more. I just wanted one more season.
I agree. I absolutely wanted one more season too.
I don't care. I love them all, but I don't care what anybody says. That was not a series finale. It was a season finale, but that wasn't a series finale.
Well, I agree with you, baby.
Not from my point of view.
I agree with you. I haven't watched it because I'm in denial, and I would like to remain that way. But I know what was on the page. And I know that when the girls and I got together for dinner, we were like, wait, what did we do? What did we do? And we couldn't really remember, which is not a good sign. You know what I'm saying? So just so you know, this is not based on anything real. In my mind, we're going to do something else. I don't think it'll be a whole season, but I think we will do something else. But obviously no one knows who owns us right now. You know, so there's that. That's got to be worked out. And I don't think Michael, I saw Michael and I've seen him a couple times. He doesn't say that, but I'm just in my hopeful way, going with that.
You're right. I like that too.
I like that too. I mean, I feel like we've been going for so long, why finish?
I don't know.
I know, right?
I know we're an expensive show, but we're worth it.
I think we're worth it too. Darn it.
Yeah, we're worth it, and it's beautifully shot. It's a movie. I mean, it's like there's no CGI or shit like that. It's it's all New York.
That's
there.
Right, babe.
It's
that is right.
Studio sets or the beautiful locations of New York City, and that's so that's thrilling. And then you've got these wonderful actresses and actors, and
I agree. All right, let's talk about this episode. So I am so totally, every time I'm watching these episodes from this section of season 3, I knew in my mind that I love season 3 so much. It's my favorite season, whatever. But and I love the whole big Carrie, thing, but there's so much I don't remember. It's like I'm watching it for the first time.
It's a very strong season. It's not because it's when I came in, but it's actually when I started watching it too, that I had to go back and that season is when it really kind of started to rise.
And I don't remember anything. I don't remember that Carrie and Big are going to some seedy hotel. Oh my gosh. I remember that I run into them. I don't remember any of this. I don't know where the heck my mind was.
It got seedier and seedier. The hotel.
Oh, it's so sad.
And you were like, what are you doing in this neighborhood?
I know. And I mean, it's also funny because is there any part of town that they wouldn't be in? Not really. You know what I mean?
But your reaction to it's your disappointment.
Really?
Your disappointment in her.
Okay.
The way you say it is you're trying to be as polite as possible, but you're letting her know that you're not happy about this. You're disappointed, and because your moral character, Charlotte, is like you said. What if that happened to me?
Okay. I'm glad you feel that way because I don't love my work in this episode. I really don't.
Oh, you're nuts. You always.
I like me when I'm with you, right?
We're both a lot alike.
I know it's true. But I mean, a lot of the times when I do look back, I'm thrilled, right? But there's some hard things they have me do, like that scene. Because so just to make sure we're including our listeners, this is the episode where Carrie has slowly been telling the friends, right? She first told Samantha because she knows Samantha's not going to judge her.
She's having an affair with Big.
She's having an affair with Big, exactly. Then in this episode, she tells Miranda, and that's a great scene. We'll get to that in a second. But then the way that Charlotte finds out, because she doesn't want to tell me, because she goes, don't want to tell Miss Bride because I'm getting married in 3 weeks, I think I say, right? So, and she's right about that, right? Because I'm in a whole, basically just tizzy about, getting married and being a bride, blah, 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 blah. And so she does tell me, and we have a very interesting scene where I am just thinking to myself, what is happening here? And what did they say to me? Because it's interesting. I'm not mad. Like when we go to, and just like that, and Miranda has the affair with Shay, that Charlotte mad, right? Like Michael Patrick told me to shout at her, which I did, but I was scared to do it, but I did it. But this scene, I'm disappointed with Carrie. And I say things like, you're not even thinking about her, which is, I think 100% true, meaning the wife, Natasha. But I also feel like, I don't know if I'm being nice to my friend Carrie in that scene. Do you think I am?
No, I don't think it's even about being nice. It's not going to end your friendship. It's too deep. It's just you're letting her know that I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
This is, and even And even I know you're getting married in it, but even Charlotte, I think, would be disappointed anyway because she's seeing a married man, and it's also about protecting Carrie too, protecting her hurt, that could happen any minute with this man that's married. So
it's a big mess. It's a big mess for sure. And I mean, definitely like when, the whole time when we find out that he's engaged and, I read it in the paper and I don't want her to know. And yes, I definitely seem like I want to protect her. But I mean, when I watch that scene, it's like, ooh, I feel uncomfortable watching the scene between me and Carrie,
But it's good. Look, here's the thing. Whether fans as the character, Charlotte, whether they think you're too judgmental, they hate you for it, or they're on your side. It's going to be all different kinds of opinions about it. That's the way it is, and that's what makes it great.
No, that's true, totally. And I also feel when I'm watching it that's when I'm reminded that Charlotte is an important point of view because it is different. Everyone has a different point of view, which is
stay in your lane.
Yeah, which is really good. But I'm never sure if I feel like also this was the time when they used to tell me that Charlotte wouldn't get mad. Right? Like, which is also kind of weird.
No, she get mad. Everyone does. And
right.
People, you have to, as Betty Davis said, you have to dare to be hated.
Definitely.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, look, I had so many, especially gay, women, not so much, but gay men would come up to me and say, you play an asshole.
No.
And he was definitely much more blunt. When I was with you, there was that scene I was watching that someone just posted when we're eating at cafeteria and we run into, it's another scene. So it's not this episode, but we run into Stanny and his friend Marcus.
Yeah.
And I tell you that he's a hooker and then I'm telling him like, he's like, I didn't go to the prom. I'm like, cause you were gay, and I'm brutal to him. Ooh. But it's hilarious at the same time. But it's interesting how different people view it. Like women thought it was funny, and Charlie and Blunt and gay men were like, you're an asshole.
Wow.
But, it was, yeah.
Interesting.
So it's okay. You gotta just, but me, and then look, and then in just like that, we all, for the good or the bad, we all evolved. We all became grown-ups, and either our anxieties grew, or we kind of were more relaxed, or we were more, I feel like Anthony wasn't as, he's still blunt, but he wasn't as rude. He definitely evolved more as a person.
I think you're right. I had not thought about that.
And I remember first saying, Michael, with the bakery, I'm like, so am I going to be messing around with these guys at the bakery? Because he was such a promiscuous character. And he was like, no, you don't shit where you eat.
Right.
And you've evolved. And I just thought, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You grew up. Definitely.
And you became a married woman with a solid marriage and kids and chaos.
Definitely.
And you dealt with that brilliantly. I told you that how you made me laugh out loud a lot.
Really?
Oh, God.
That's so funny.
At the premiere of the second season with you, the downsized premiere.
Oh yeah. The writer's strike premiere.
Yeah, the writer's strike.
Premiere. Yep.
I remember saying to you, "You're so."
Thank you, baby.
Later. And you had beautiful things to say about me. You said it to me first, but I didn't say it to you because you said it to me. I was like,
You're so funny, but you're so hard on yourself, and it cracks me up. But you did obviously have a lot of challenges. The thing that I thought about when I was watching this episode, there's a scene where I'm the coffee shop scene. I've got this stack of magazines, the bridal magazines, and you see
passing them out.
Exactly. That scene almost killed me with the props. We've all been there.
Oh.
We've all been there in the prop scenes. Okay, it's hard. And this was Dennis Erdman directing. Do you remember Dennis?
Yes.
And I had forgotten that this is when Dennis shows up to direct.
Yeah, he was Darren's partner.
Yes, he was, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, he was great. He was lovely to work with. I had a great time.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy.
It was just a late night,
Oh, every night was a late night.
And I don't think the other thing about that second scene that got cut, I was told that it was so late and they didn't get enough coverage, and which was another reason why they cut it. So it just when you get into 4 a.m., it can get wonky, as you know.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, how we functioned at all is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember the exhaustion. I think that's why I don't remember everything now, because I'm just like so past tired. But all good. Oh, good. Okay, wait. Let's go in order. So Carrie's storyline, super fascinating. Didn't remember this at all. I think it really, really seems to like the vibe of having an affair, which I think is great that they brought it, because previously, like when they were in the Stanhope, like it's kind of gorgeous, right? Like Charles McDougall filmed that, and it's so cinematic and beautiful. Yes. And now we see like the gritty reality of having to hide, and like they're cranky with each other. He's like, I've got to be at work in 40 minutes.
In 40 minutes. And it's just like, okay, they're just hitting it, and then
I know
going through their lives.
Ick.
And then
it's
ick.
Like,
boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
it's very ick. No wonder she feels so terrible.
No, and there she goes. It's like I said, dare to be hated. That's judged too.
Absolutely. And I mean, she's so brave. Like she just does it. But also she brings such truth. Like it's so real,
She's fantastic. Sarah Jessica's magnificent.
Beyond. And so gorgeous.
Oh, she looks gorgeous, and such good performance. And Chris is wonderful.
He's so good.
It's fantastic.
He's so good. But also I did hate him.
I know, of course, because he was messing with your best friend.
Yeah. And also when he's like, oh, I'm going to tell her, and she said, but are you really? I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic of like, on the one hand, she kind of seems like she wants him to, and on the other hand, she doesn't. And then the thing that I didn't remember at all, and people do bring this up to me, and I'm always like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm jumping to the end, but we're going to talk about Natasha. But before we do, when at the very end she says, we're so over that we need another name for over.
Yeah.
Another word for over.
Yeah.
It's such a great line. And people talk to me about that, and I'm like, I don't know when that happens, but okay. It happens here, and rightly so, because ick, a million times ick on this situation.
It's and I mean, was he really going to call her?
I don't think he was. I think he's like daring her. Like they have such a weird, like I dare you type, thing, but then she doesn't really want him to. And she says, I need more time. It's so interestingly written. I mean, what a fantastic, Michael Patrick wrote this one, and it's just incredible. It's so incredibly good. Okay. So let's talk about Carrie from the beginning. So she's having the affair. It's elegant to really, really bad hotels. They're complaining. And then, he seems jealous, and he says to her something like, are you, saving it for the boyfriend or whatever? And she's like, don't talk to me like that. I'm like, oh God, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. It's ick. It's so ick, but it's also so real. I feel like they're like peeling layers of each other off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. To the reality of who they are.
As each room gets dirtier and slimier and less glamorous, so does the affair.
Definitely. And I think that's so beautifully done and so accurate, because affairs are horrible.
And then the Natasha stuff.
Ooh, let's not get there yet. Let's talk about when she tells Miranda, because I love the scene.
Oh, yeah.
So much. I look forward, now that I'm rewatching as a fan more so, right? I always look forward to a Carrie Miranda scene, because they're super amazing, and you never quite know who's going to be what way. You know that Miranda's going to tell it like it is, right? Oh, yeah. But like when she says, I have to tell you something, Miranda's like, well, now I'm scared. Like they're so great together. They're so great together. And just the different vibe. And I like how Miranda handles finding out, because she is equally telling it like it is, like, this is a horrible mistake, but also she's worried for Carrie, and she's not judgmental. I mean, she's definitely telling her, don't do it, but she's not like, you're a bad person. You know what I'm saying?
She's probably, and because Carrie says to her, you're going to hate me for this. And she kind of does a disclaimer before, because she knows what she's like and how she's going to feel.
Right.
Doesn't come at her, I think, because there was a buffer there.
Definitely.
She kind of knows that she doesn't want the whole truth from her. So she says it, but I think she leaves stuff out that she's feeling and thinking.
I think for sure. But I think it's nice how she handles it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Carrie's obviously troubled. It's not like Carrie's like, I'm having an affair and it's great. She's saying, I know it's terrible. What do? I don't know. And she says, you stop. Right. Which obviously Carrie doesn't do. But then they cut to Carrie and Aiden. This killed me. I don't remember any of this. And he's kissing her and like going like, and she's just wants to jump out of her skin. Oh, I just felt that like to my core. It's awful. Like, I can't even believe that she just doesn't just fully bail. But, you know, she kind of does in a certain way. But like, to say to your person who's, you know, supposedly a person who doesn't know that you're doing this other thing, that you don't like the sound he's making while he's kissing you, I don't think I would do that.
No, I wouldn't.
No, it's tough. Like, the fact that he, you know, tries his best to be like, oh, okay, I won't make that sound. I'm like, Aiden, what a sweetheart. Oh my God.
And she, you know, she's not nice to the one that's very caring to her. And she's nicer to the one that's a son of a bitch.
I know.
She's out at him too, because he's an asshole to her sometimes.
I know. It's kind of, but it's also just, she's so relatable. But also I feel for her because she's so stuck. Like, on the one hand, she feels horrible and they're like cranky with each other over at the affair. And then she doesn't like the sound Aiden's making and she tells him, and then he's like, oh, it's just so, everything's so uncomfortable for her. And she does it so brilliantly, But it really made me uncomfortable watching it even, right? Like, I was just like, oh, I just want to jump out of my own skin.
It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like, see, this is why I'm not in a relationship.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments. I want to get one of these jams. I want to get one of these jams, because you're trying to take care of yourself, but then you're also trying to take care of the other people, but then you're also just like, everything's bad. You know, everything's bad. Whew, God, it stressed me out a lot watching it.
It was stressful.
But it was just so good, though. And I also feel like, what other television show can you think of? I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some somewhere, but like, it's so rare to be able to see this done in a not soap opera-y way. Do you know what I mean? Like the reality of the feelings.
No, the last thing it was soap opera.
No, it's so
it had a
good.
To it that no other show had.
It's amazing to me. I mean, I kind of knew, but like rewatching, I'm like, wow.
No, that's why it holds up. It's, you know, and each scene with Aiden throughout that episode got more and more uncomfortable until it was like, he's gonna go,
and he's gotta go. He's gotta go.
He's gonna leave because it's too.
It's awful.
You know, stifled and can't be
shut down. Isn't it the worst? Oh, it's the worst. I know. I really felt for Aiden. I really, really felt for Aiden this whole time. I didn't feel for Big though, but that's okay.
Well,
oh, wait, what about the time when she's in the really seedy hotel room lobby and the guy thinks she's a hooker? Oh my God, this is the second time in the show that someone has thought Carrie is a hooker, you guys. What on earth? In the first season.
He's furious about it.
I know, and rightly so, Oh my God. And that's when they come out and I run into them. And they're, of course, very, very chagrined. And I'm kind of polite-ish, but it's awkward. Then you see me packing, which I didn't remember this at all either. I'm packing to move to Trey's. When Carrie and I have the scene, I'm packing up. And she's just standing there. She's kind of theoretically helping me, but she's mostly just standing there. But that's why I get to wear jeans and a t-shirt, because Pat Field really never wanted me to wear jeans and a t-shirt. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt and like my own Adidas or Dr. Scholl's flip-flops. I don't know which one it is. I couldn't see. But
you look great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I remember not feeling great whenever I did get to wear jeans, because she believed that I should really never wear jeans. But I did look back and think like, I am so dumb that I didn't feel great. Like, stupid woman.
Because you don't know what you look like. That's why.
I don't. And I certainly didn't then at all. At all.
You didn't.
No, I didn't. No.
And so when you, and I think, you needed to, because the show is so much about fashion. It's like, well, why aren't I in something?
No, I wanted to be in jeans. I mean, I was exhausted by those clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so much. And you know how I dress in life, right? Like I try to look nice for the podcast, but I would love to be in like my same sweater and my same jeans every single day. It would be great. I don't think I would want to be on that in a TV show, right? But like the height of all of it was like a lot, you know, obviously. I mean, now I love it more. But back then I just remember like, oh, thank God I can wear jeans. Well, very exciting.
Ask Danny and Molly. I hate fittings. I'm
like,
just pick something up. Hate them. I'm just I do it as fast as I can. I mean, I tell them what I like and what I don't like, but I'm not crazy picky about my clothes,
which is great.
And
I'm sure that's refreshing for them.
No, I'm like, just give me something that works, and like also I was like. I would like by the second season, I was like, just give me stuff that I'm going to like to wear, but I'm not going to want to take home.
Oh.
But then I took home stuff.
I
Anyway,
know. I was like, why wouldn't you want to have stuff you'd want to take
I
home?
did. Well, the first season I did, and I took what I wanted. But Michael liked me in black a lot, and there was one time in Just Like That, I think it was the party you had, that I had like a light pink jacket on with flowers.
I remember
with that, and I loved it. And I was like, I took that.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It was beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, but it was a lot of blues and blacks, which I wear in life.
Yeah, I also think like they have their color palette for each, character, and they have to have us be, somewhat in sync when we're together, right? So like everyone can't be wearing black all the time unless it's a black occasion, obviously.
And Michael was very picky about what Anthony wore. He was way more picky about than I was.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Molly told me that. She
Okay.
said,
Wow. I love to hear that. That's interesting. Okay, now we get to the part.
Yeah.
Where Natasha, so basically they're in the seedy hotels, and apparently there's some scene that we don't see where Carrie's like, I don't want to be in the seedy hotels. We have to be at someone's house, right?
Let's do it at your
right.
Who knows? It might have been written.
Right. They might have had a scene that got cut. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they're at
I don't know. I don't.
his beige house because everything's beige now, and they're in the beige bed. She's in the beige bed. He's got to go to work. He goes to work, and she's in this kind of like pink bra, rummaging through the fridge, and she hears Natasha come home from the Hamptons early.
And she came home early from the Hamptons. That's right.
He thinks she's in the Hamptons and she's going to stay there because he says he's going to call her on Monday, which I thought was also such an odd comment from him. This is when he says, I'm going to call her on Monday. And she goes, this is when she says, no, she needs more time or whatever, right? And then Natasha comes in and she tries to get out the back service entrance, which is how apartments are. And if were on the air now, everyone would be complaining about the back door. But that is actually how apartments are in big old buildings in New York City.
There's kitchen entrances.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the service entrance. That's what they would call it. And it would go to an elevator that's in the back where you could bring furniture up or whatever, different, things like workmen would come up in the back elevator. There's rules in these kinds of buildings.
Or deliveries or whatever.
Deliveries, exactly. So Carrie's trying to get out the back, but the chain lock is on and she can't get out. So then she gets out and she's running down the stairs, and Natasha in her beautiful white outfit, which is I think all she wears, is running down after her and falls on her face.
She sees her before she goes to the door.
And she says, Carrie, Carrie, I knew you were having an affair, but not in my house. Oh my God, so upsetting, so upsetting.
Falls
on her face, on that beautiful face.
And Carrie runs up to her like, what?
Yes, thank God.
And she lifts her head and the blood.
Oh, there was so much blood.
And she puts her in a cab.
She puts her in a cab. And then someone told me, I believe, because we talked to Bridget earlier, and Bridget couldn't remember if she had ad-libbed. Carrie puts her in a cab and is trying to tell the cab to go to the nearest hospital. And Natasha is trying to lock the door so Carrie can't get in. And someone told me that they listened to Michael Patrick's DVD, narrative of it, and that Bridget had ad-libbed that, which is super brilliant, But the window's rolled down. So she's like frantically trying to, it's a funny kind of thing. And so Carrie just gets in the front, which is very cool. I love this whole sequence. And then it's so good when they cut to the hospital and you see Big coming in, but he obviously doesn't know Carrie's there. And the look on his face when he sees Carrie there, because probably Natasha called him or the doctors called him or someone called him, right? He doesn't realize Carrie's there and he sees her. It's such a good moment. He stops, he sees Carrie, the look on her face. It's just like.
Well, she's done then.
Done and like so sad and upset of how it's actually gone down. And I love how in the beginning of the episode before this happens, there's a lot of talk about like with Miranda and I think with me also, I mean, because Carrie's like, couldn't we just get out of it with no one getting hurt, no one for the wiser? She says this to Miranda. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you can't get out of it with no one getting hurt. And Miranda's basically, no, you. And then who gets actually physically hurt? Natasha. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so good. So good. Oh my God.
But she gets her there. She makes
Thank
sure.
God. Yes.
She had to go with her.
Oh, definitely. Oh, we would have been very, very angry with Carrie if she hadn't gone with her.
Throw her in a cab and be like, bye.
No, she would never do that. She would never do that because she's not a bad person. That's what's so great about it.
Well, she runs right up to her on the stairs. I mean, she's very caring. She didn't keep running.
No, of course.
She's very caring, and she really, oh boy, that's brutal. And then it's over.
I know. And then it's so over that we need a new word for over. And that's so good. It's such a good line. It's such a good line. And she delivers it so beautifully. And her face is just like she's just empty of feeling, you know, like it's been too much. It's so, so incredibly good. I know
It's a great episode. It's a rare, I didn't realize how powerful it was.
And then she goes home and Aiden's there. Oh God.
Yep.
And he looks so adorable. And he says, where were you all day? And she says she was at a museum.
The museum. Yeah.
I know. And he says, how was it? And she said, good. Which is kind of funny. And then she goes in her bathroom, but she shuts all the doors. She says she has to wash her face and she shuts all the doors so she can like have a moment to recover. But I did feel because Aiden is like, you know, he's fine. Like the fact that Aiden could have been kind of, you know, somehow able to emotionally regulate himself after she's been so weird to him and messed up is kind of impressive, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he was kind of very forgiving.
Very forgiving.
And I'm sure she was very relieved he was there, even though it was you know, a tough day. But
for sure.
There he is. So how reassuring is that for Carrie too?
I agree. But then I believe it's the next episode that I get married and they break up. So it's a little window, but I also totally understand why she feels so horrible that he doesn't know. I get it. I mean, it's a really tough thing. Like, I don't know, like if you just cheated like a weird moment of cheating, that would be one thing, but this is a whole emotional, like this is her ex with unfinished business. It's so much more. I totally get why she feels like she has to tell him in the next episode. Do you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because there's just layers of guilt.
Yeah. And you can't move forward feeling like they don't know who you are, that you're, you know, that you did this and that you're sorry.
And then they break up. That's the next episode. But they break.
I know it.
Amazing how these two men just continued in her life through all of it, though.
I know.
Through both iterations. That's fascinating to me.
It is.
I love it. It's and the fans love it too. You know, they're either team Big or team Aiden, but which is why I think it was so split, and they kept them both in because they were both those relationships were both so popular with the audience.
Well, also, I just think they are so interestingly different, and it's a different part of her that gets involved, like that comes out with each one. But it's side note, and this also is not based on anything that anyone said to me. It's my own feeling. I do feel like that's part of the reason that we ended, and just like that is because we really, really ended Aiden. Yeah. Sorry for anyone that I'm giving anything away. But like once Aiden was really done, I feel like creatively there was like a emptiness that Michael and Sarah Jessica didn't have an immediate answer for. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know, they need to have that like creative motor driving them of like, we're going here. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have that. And I think that they need that. That's how they operate, but the two of them together, like as a good partnership, you know, a good creative partnership. Anyway, side note, of course. So here we are. Let's go back. Well, I want to know what you think of Samantha's storyline getting the HIV test. What did you think of this?
Well, the fact that she thought she was being taken into that little room and the way she fainted was so brilliant.
I didn't remember any of this.
She's magnificent in this episode also because it's such a thing that I have sex and I'm fine. I'm clean. I'm not diseased. You know, that whole thing. And then she's confronted by a guy who has as much sex as she does. And he's like, I'm not going to do this if you don't get tested. And then, so she wants him so badly that it makes her go get tested. And it's horrifying. I mean, look, as a gay man coming up in the 80s and 90s, you know, those tests were horrifying.
Scary.
You think about it, you know, it's and being taken into that little room or whatever. But the way she fell, it's the fainting that I was like, wow. And I believed every second of it.
Me
because
too.
It's like, she just thought she was going to get the death sentence.
Oof. so scary, so scary, and she faints very beautifully. I like the shot a lot, like it's the angle too. And the way she falls.
And all those things and all those, yeah.
Yeah, she hits the medical cart, so all the tools fall. It's really good. It's really, really good. Yeah. I don't think I ever went to one of those centers to get tested, so I I think I got tested at like
I had a doctor.
Doctor. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Did you go to one of those places?
No, I had a doctor.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of intense to go to one of those places, I think, you know?
No, exactly. This is, you're lucky, there's a privilege to be able to have a doctor that can, I'm privileged to be able to have a doctor.
Yeah.
That I've been going to for years, and it was very comforting, and, you're going to be fine. And, he was right. That's the way it went. So,
thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. But those clinics are your number at those clinics. Oof. Although the nurse that she was dealing with was very kind and very comforting.
I know she was kind of comforting, but apparently she was trying to take her in the back room so she could lecture her about her sex life, which is not good because she also scared the bejesus out of her and made poor Samantha faint. But this is what I love so much. So the guy that she's with is played by Sam Robards, who I feel like, did anyone look up if he's related to Jason Robards? Yes, he's Jason Robards' son.
Jason Robards.
Yes, remember Jason Robards, incredible actor. And I think they wanted something like someone really amazing to play kind of the male version of Samantha that she would, of course, really want and vibe with. But also I love how he is with her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's very sexual, but he won't do it.
Like he has such a great, like he's so open, but also in the way that Samantha is, right? Because Samantha's so open about her sexuality and unapologetic, but also he's got such clear boundaries, right? But he also has this swing, like he's interesting and fun, but also like, no, you have to have an AIDS test. What do you mean you haven't had an AIDS test? I like the whole thing so much.
Me too. And they were meeting, the male and female equivalent of each other sexually.
I know. I wish he could have stayed. Wouldn't that have been interesting? Like what would have happened?
You know? I don't know.
I don't know either.
They both would have cheated on each other eventually.
That's probably true, but at least it would have been mutual, right? So maybe whatever. I don't know, but I really loved him. And I just vaguely remember that, because she has so many incredibly beautiful guys, right? And always really good as well. But I do remember that they really wanted him to be special. And I did think that Sam Robards did a fantastic job. And I wish we had more of him in the show. But I do love that we did this whole episode. I'd kind of forgotten about it. But I do think it's so important to show like kind of the reality of, the way that her lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That like you do need to actually take responsibility for yourself within that lifestyle. You don't need to apologize for the lifestyle, but you need to take responsibility.
And this thing where you're all, saying that whether you've been tested or not in your lifetime for HIV, and you're like, you don't even say anything because you're like too busy with the magazines, and you're like,
well, I'm in Bride World, and I don't want anything to come into Bride World.
No, and you don't even have to ask Charlotte that.
Right, I know. But in reality, Charlotte got around quite a bit and did need to have an AIDS test, and I'm sure she did it, or OBGYN or whatever. But
she was way too busy with her magazines.
Exactly, because at that point, she's got this stack of magazines, and also Charlotte apparently has never heard of stylists, which is really funny.
So what I was interested in when Samantha said, "I'll send you a list of stylists." So I wonder if I was on that list.
Of course you were. That's how we got you.
She set me up with you, which I never realized that until
I know. I didn't remember that at all either. And I also just think it's so funny. But I do think also at this point in time, it wasn't like it is now where you're always hearing about actor stylists, and the stylists are big names themselves. Yeah. And, everything's like, everyone's very aware. It was not like that back then. I didn't have a stylist at this point in life.
No. It wasn't like that, but I didn't either.
No, because we're about to get nominated for our first Emmy. In fact, this might be around the time. I feel like the nominations for the Emmys come out in August because the awards were in September. I feel like this is around the time that we got nominated for the show the first time, which was like the most thrilling thing that ever happened.
That was season 3, right? Yeah.
Right? Yes. And then we didn't win that first year. Maybe Sarah Jessica won, but we didn't win till the next year, which was the semi Emmys because of 9/11, right? So Kim and I were there alone. Sarah and Cynthia, I think, were both doing plays. But they had pushed the Emmys, because we didn't feel like it was appropriate. That it's the next year, but we got nominated this year, and we go and we present. And the reason that I remember all this is because I didn't have a stylist. I had a publicist, but I didn't have a stylist. And I was like, so stressed about what to wear. I mean, so stressed. And I went to all of these designers that my publicist would call them, I think. And I would go, just me. I would just show up and everyone would be like, oh, you should definitely wear this one. This is amazing. You need to be sexy. So like at one point I had this Michael Kors dress that was very cut out and very sexy because I played the not sexy one, right? So there were certain people in the fashion world who felt like I needed to dress like aggressively sexy, right? But my publicist at the time felt like, no, that is not true. You're on a show called Sex and the City. You need to look like a princess, she said to me. I was like, oh, okay, a princess. I don't know. So then I went to a different designer. I had like a ball gown on, right? So I had a stack of Polaroids that I just went around town. I went to my manager. I was like, look at all these Polaroids. Tell me which one I should wear. Then I would go to my publicist. I say, look at all my Polaroids and tell me what I should wear. I go to my agents. Please tell me but of course, everyone had a different opinion, right? So I had gone to Valentino in one of these fittings and had put on a gorgeous dress that I loved that I would have been done with. Then everyone had different opinions and got me very, very confused. So at the very last minute, my publicist said, you should go to the stylist. I'm not going to say who she was. And so I go to the stylist who was very much the hot stylist at the time. And she had this apartment, like condo. I went to her for the fitting. And in the center of the room was a mountain of gowns on the floor. And I was like, oh no. So I was standing in the corner, like really just trying to contain myself because I wanted to pick them all up and hang them all up. I was so stressed. And there were all these gowns that I had seen pictures of in lookbooks, but this stylist was hoarding them basically, right, for her clients. And I was like, should I try some of them on that are on the floor? Like, what should I do? So eventually what happened was I ended up wearing the Valentino that I had already tried on by myself, which was so ridiculous. It was a really interesting first stylist experience because it did really teach me a lot. Like there's a lot of drama in the stylist world.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. This is why I like slap on a nice tuxedo. The man can do that and just go.
It's true. I don't know if that's true now, though, because now, there's a lot of commentary online. Oh, my gosh. You don't want those guys to be mad at you.
No, it's true. But you know what? It's exhausting, as you know.
It is exhausting. It's true.
The only award show I ever went to was during this was the SAG Awards. We were nominated.
They're the best.
And we won one year.
We did. We won 2 years because I've got two SAG Awards at my house.
I think. Did we win? Did we win?
Ensemble.
Yeah, I know that, but did we win? I wonder if I was there the first time we won.
I don't know. They all blend in my mind.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
but
was amazing.
Really fun. So much fun to go to all those things. Anyway, I think it's so funny that Charlotte had never heard of getting a stylist, and thank God Samantha tells her, and then I get you.
Yep.
It all worked out.
No, I was the faux stylist for you.
I know. You were great. You were perfect. And you had a big personality like stylists do.
But I was also thinking, like, when I was like the lace applique, I didn't know what that was.
Oh, you pulled it off.
I had to learn that and just memorize it. I like I said, I couldn't pick out your shoes or your dress or your clothes. And so many girls that come up to me like, oh, I wish you picked out my dress. I said, you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want me to your wedding. And then when I became a baker, it's like, that's what I really do in real life.
Yay. Yes, you evolved.
That's what I.
All right. So here, let's talk about Miranda and this sandwich. Oh my God. So funny and so meme-ish. Like how perfectly meme related storyline, like before memes were a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's the sandwich guy and he's saying, eat me.
And then she becomes obsessed with him. She's pissed off at first. Then she becomes like, she tries to complain about it, and they're like, well, he's a sandwich. So that's what they say.
I know. She goes in, she's very me too. She goes in and she's like, your sandwich is harassing women. And he's like, you're crazy, woman, which is, of course, exactly what everyone would say to you back then. But then she fantasizes about him and wants to meet him, which is fully insane. Okay. Fully bonkers.
Take off your mask.
I know. And then he's like this kid. He's adorable. But why she has such a negative reaction when he's this kid is interesting to me. Like, what did she think he was going to be?
I don't know. Maybe someone of interest to her. And she thought he was cute, but she was like, oh, he's a baby. Bye. Thank you.
Right. But also Miranda looks so incredible in these outfits on the street. Like she's like at the height of her like power, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Listen to, I would just want to say Carrie's, I love to say Carrie's, you know, when she's wondering about her things in the apartment. It's really good. Later that night, I got to thinking about safe sex. Odd how only when our physical life is at risk do we follow certain guidelines to protect ourselves. But what about our emotional lives? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a pamphlet to warn us what unsafe behavior might be high risk to ourselves or our relationships? And even if you take precautions and emotionally try to protect yourself, when you crawl in bed with someone, is sex ever safe? But also, I think it's so true because I don't feel like sex is ever safe personally, emotionally. You know what I mean? I'm not good. I'm not good at covering it all up and playing the game and whatever. It's just too much.
Men can separate it. Women, it's emotional.
I know it. I think I've asked you before. It's always interesting to ask people again, though, because sometimes you change your mind. Do you feel like you're a Charlotte?
I feel like, no, it's like you like your mother or your father. I have elements of both of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like, in a way, I speak my mind. It's so Charlotte for the most part, but she.
No, I think that's Miranda. I would say speaking one's mind would be like a Miranda thing. Yeah. Don't you think?
I guess I probably am a Miranda.
I kind of think you're a Miranda.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh my
because
God.
like the thing that I love though about Miranda is like on the one hand, everyone goes like, oh, she's kind of hard and whatever, but like she also is so squishy inside, which is so true about you.
And yes, and to the people that I love, I am pointed about what I need to let them know
But you're inside like a squishy, loyal friend, you know.
Yeah. Well, then I feel bad. Yeah, I have a lot of guilt. I am. I'm a softie for the most part.
You totally are.
I try to present as a very hard.
I know you do. You do. And I mean, it takes some time to get to the soft, but then it's worth it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's a good quality. It's a good quality. And I do think like if you look at Anthony's evolution, that's what's really, really fun about looking at your early episodes. I mean, just your evolution as a character, but also I know that you felt like, oh, I'm so nervous and can I get all these words right? And then the prop scenes are always hard. But like you're so fantastic and you're so specifically you, like the character is like fully formed, you know?
Yeah.
And yes, he evolves over time, definitely. But like the breath of fresh air when you come, especially because I think where Charlotte was at that time, because I'm in this bride mode, I'm with Trey and I don't really talk that honestly, right? Like to have you coming in there like, this is what it is.
Exactly. I tell you like it is. And
it's great.
At the time.
It's so great and so needed. Like, thank God we kept you. Thank the Lord, Michael Patrick King.
I thank him every day.
Yes.
Now, give us another season and stop it.
We have to let him reset. He's doing the comeback. He's going to reset. He's going to get new inspiration. I have faith. I do. I have faith.
Can't wait to see the comeback, by the way.
I know. I'm very excited to see the comeback. I know. They were really into it. He and Lisa wrote the whole show themselves.
The two of them together are magic, and it's a brilliant combination. And they do both those seasons were so good. And this is their final one, but there was so much time in between each one. But I
know, but you know the idea? I think they've announced it, so I can say it. She's doing the first sitcom written by AI. Valerie Cherish on the comeback is doing the first sitcom written by AI. It's so timely and great.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I can't wait.
I know. I can't wait either. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'll see you soon.